What is going on, everybody? AHS Rules back again with another video as we're here for another edition of Shooting the Breeze, filmed on Halloween. So if you celebrate the holiday, have a happy and safe Halloween. As you can tell, I'm not dressed up because I, for one, do not care that much about Halloween. The last time I dressed up for Halloween, I was 8 years old and dressed up as Indiana Jones. So it has been a long, long time since I've cared about Halloween. Regardless, in this video, I'll be providing some predictions for Week 9 in the NFL season. We are almost halfway through the NFL season, which is a bit insane. But before we dive completely into that, got a couple of NBA notes. There's not many. I don't even have them wrote them down because they're off the top of my head. Thing one, my Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm filming this. We're coming off two atrocious and questionable back-to-back losses against the Chicago Bulls and the Brooklyn Nets. Now, the Brooklyn Nets, I like a lot of the players on their team, and I know a lot of people think that they are the worst team in the league, and I don't, because like I said, I like a lot of the players on their team, and they have a lot of veterans on their team, and they're a decent team, but this Nets game should have been a win, considering they're coming off an overnight trip, double overtime loss to the Nuggets. We should have been competing a lot harder in this game than we were. I don't really know what the hell's going on, so I'm not going to dive completely into it, but it feels that after every Grizzlies game, mainly the losses, that everything is being blown out of proportion and questioned, especially because we're a week and a half into the season. I don't know what the hell's going on. So maybe my NBA care is being dragged down by my team, but I do think things will get better. I'm going to hope that they do, because if not, I will be bald, and I've got a bit of hair right now. Thing two, and it's weird because we're a complete week into the NBA season, and I feel the most noteworthy topic of the week and what has been discussed in the NBA circles is Dwayne Wade's freaking statue reveal. And because it was so long ago, and I don't really have anything to say about it, I'm not going to say anything about it. The one thing I will say, and this is just NBA noted, and I'm going to propose this question and build some evidence on it, because the other thing that I feel that's been highlighted in the NBA are the teams that look bad. And the two that come to mind that there's technically three. 76ers, Bucks, Nuggets. Now, the Sixers don't fit into the question, and we know that the main issue there is injuries have piled up to their top two stars. But for the Bucks and Nuggets, mainly the Nuggets, how committed should a team be to a championship core? Mainly a team that has won a championship. Because we're in this somewhat new day and age where in the past couple years, we've seen the same teams in the finals and winning the finals in the Warriors and Cavs. But now we're in this new age where we have not had a repeat champion in a hot minute. Raptors, Lakers, Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics. So 6 different championships. That Raptors core is broken up completely. Only 2 guys are still on the team from the Lakers one. The Bucks, definitely Giannis Middleton, Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton. There might be somebody else I'm forgetting. The Warriors, a lot of the guys are gone. Clay's gone. And even from the other championship reigns, they're gone. The Nuggets, their main 4 are there. And the Celtics, I'm not even really going to consider because it'll be a while before any of them are gone. But mainly for the Nuggets, because a lot of people are criticizing the Nuggets, saying that they're not that good and that they have a lot of problems. And the main one is that they did not fill the shooting guard role up, even though I think they knew in advance that Christian Braun would have to step up. And it's a big ask for that to happen right away, you know. And I don't think they need to be seeking help immediately. At some point, probably. But a lot of people are just saying this team is bad and they made a mistake. But I kind of look at this Nuggets team, and I've always somewhat compared Jokic to Dirk. And Dirk always willed the Mavericks to something, even with lesser help. So, like, Dirk had lesser help than Jokic does, in my opinion, a lot of times. How committed should a team be to a championship core? Because the Nuggets re-signed everybody and they're keeping the main four, and the best thing about it is, like, they're supposed to be in their prime right now. And like I said, I think the Nuggets will get better before they get worse. On the Bucks side of things, I don't know why I was so high and optimistic about the Bucks. I just feel that Giannis has been disrespected and looked down upon. Definitely last season, probably the season before that as well, with embarrassing first-round outs, which he did not play a single game against the Pacers and played like 1.5 against the. I actually think it was 2.5 against the Heat. The time is on the wall, and I compared their situation to the Clippers, to where injuries can only be the excuse for so long, and like this is the year that they need to compete and go out and whatnot. But I'm very high and optimistic about the Bucks, but I also sometimes forget that Doc Rivers is their coach, and I don't like talking about coaching a lot because I don't know how much of it goes into play with the actual guys that we see playing on the court. But what Doc Rivers' track record, it probably should be accounted for a little bit. So, I wanted to provide some NBA talk, and those are the main things that have been on my mind. The Grizzlies, questionable start. The Bucks, questionable start. And the Nuggets, questionable start. Which I all think they'll get better before they get worse. But time will tell there. But now, we're on to the Week 9 NFL predictions. 2 teams are on a bye. The Pittsburgh Steelers and San Francisco 49ers. It's the first game we're going through on Halloween, Thursday Night Football. Houston Texans at New York Jets. I said to take the Jets serious and to maybe get the season on the road for the Jets, that they needed to beat the Patriots last week, and I thought they were going to beat them. Shocker, they did not. It's not weird, and I understand it. Why do the Jets have so many freaking primetime games? I understand. They're supposed to be the big deal. They're the New York team. They have Aaron Rodgers and all this crap. But it's just like almost every game is in primetime. Last week wasn't, and I think every other game besides Week 2 against the Titans was in primetime. Because Week 1, they lost to the 49ers on Monday Night Football. Week 3, they beat the Patriots on Thursday Night Football. Then they lost to the Bills on Monday Night Football. They had a Sunday Night Football loss to the Steelers. They had one. All right, I don't know if you count the Vikings game as a primetime game, but that was in London and a big game, like all separated on its own. So they've had a bunch of big time games, and this is another one right here where they could win it due to the Texans being very banged up and injured, but I don't want to disrespect the Texans. God, I'm trying to talk myself into the Jets winning again. This is the last straw. I don't know who the Jets play next week. I'm pretty sure it'll be another primetime game. This is the last straw. If they don't win this game, I'm not picking them again. So, I'm picking the Jets, which is extremely funny and familiar to this next matchup, which is Dallas Cowboys at Atlanta Falcons. Sounds like a decent matchup. Could be a good game. Where last week, I picked the Cowboys and put a lot of faith into them winning and going against a banged-up 49ers squad, and then they shit the bed and lost. I can't say shit the bed, but they lost regardless. And I'm like, if they lose, I ain't picking them again. So, that being said, I am picking the Falcons in this game. Next matchup, Denver Broncos at Baltimore Ravens. I'll give the Broncos credit because they have the same record as the Ravens. They're just not as entertaining to watch. I will say that. But at least they are winning games. And I don't think I've picked against the Ravens this year, and I don't think I'm going to start now. Next, Miami Dolphins at Buffalo Bills. I'm picking the Bills. Now, going back, and I remember, I think it was week 2 or 3. I think it was week 2. It was whenever Tua got injured. Because the thumbnail of the video was Tua and Josh Allen. And I picked the Dolphins in that game. And I'm like, the Dolphins and Bills have kind of had close games and back and forth action. And then I came to the realization, like, after I made the pick, I'm completely wrong. And the one, like, Dolphins win the Bills got over them was that one game. I think it was the butt fumble and the punt mess up and all that crap. And then They ran out of time, and then the Dolphins won. I keep thinking in my mind that like this is a back-and-forth rivalry, where it really isn't. The Bills constantly keep winning. And I made the mistake in picking the Dolphins in that first game. So I'm not going to make that same mistake here, especially with this game being in Buffalo and the Bills picking up steam. Get the ball to Amari Cooper, though. Next, a very ugly matchup. New Orleans Saints at Carolina Panthers. They have not played their best football in a while. Derek Carr might be back for the Saints and make them a bit of a better team, so I'm going to go with the Saints with that rationale. Next, Las Vegas Raiders at the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to go with the Bengals to win. Very rarely have picked against them. I picked the Bengals last week, even though I very much thought the Eagles were going to win, and then they did. Los Angeles Chargers at Cleveland Browns. The Browns have a bit of faith now at Jameis Winston at quarterback and beating a Ravens team last week that they probably shouldn't have. Does that make me want to pick them in this game? A little bit. But I'm going to go with the Chargers. Next, the Washington Commanders at the New York Giants. Got to go with the Commanders, especially with that win last week. Oh my God, I almost called them Penguins. New England Patriots at the Tennessee Titans. This, another ugly matchup. It has been a hot minute since the Titans got a win. The Patriots did get a win last week. I have no logical reason in picking the Titans other than I would rather see them win than the Patriots. I'm going with the Titans. Chicago Bears at Arizona Cardinals. I'm going with the Cardinals. Who did the Cardinals play last week? The Bears obviously lost to the Commanders. The Cardinals beat the Dolphins, which I did predict right. So let's continue that mojo with them. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles. Now, a big-time matchup. The one that's most likely in the thumbnail of this video will have all of my attention come 3:25 Sunday afternoon. The Detroit Lions against, in the retro attires, Green Bay Packers. Always go with the Packers. Not changing now. Los Angeles Rams at Seattle Seahawks. Not the Supersonics. The Rams won last week on Thursday Night Football. The Seahawks lost in an ugly matchup against the Bills. Going with the Rams. Sunday Night Football. Indianapolis Colts with Joe Flacco starting at the Minnesota Vikings, who have lost 2 straight, but they're close matchups. And big argument could be made about that Thursday Night Football and the ending of that, which I had to hear a lot about on Thursday night. This is the coin flip game of the week for me because the Colts quarterback change kinda makes me think differently, a little bit differently about this matchup. And I'd rather see the Colts win over the Vikings, obviously. So I'm going to go with the Colts. That's the last game to predict. It's very weird that this was a Super Bowl matchup a couple years ago, and the teams have... One team has dramatically changed since then, and one is undefeated and still don't really know how that is the case, and I anticipate them keeping that undefeated streak, which kind of spoils my prediction. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Kansas City Chiefs. Going with the Chiefs. So, happy Halloween, happy NBA notes, happy NFL predictions, as this is the end of Shooting the Breeze. I should have up WWE Crown Jewel predictions at some point this week. I don't know what day I'm uploading it yet. As always, stay safe. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And I'll see you in the next one, because I'm out.